I'm Teri, and this is Tea with Teri, where we talk about thoughts, emotions, and actions. Today, I want to share a thought with you. And this thought is maybe something that might surprise you, but I love this idea of how we lower the bar. And I think that, first of all, I want to frame it in the opposite way. We often, in our culture and in the world around us, we see examples of people raising the bar, and we want to get our hopes up, and we want to think high, and we want to challenge ourselves, and we want to go for it, and no risk, no gain, no pain, no gain. We see a lot of messages around this, but I think we miss sometimes the beautiful opportunity to start small. And so I love this phrase, lower the bar. And it reminds me of something I learned in my training with This Naked Mind, where Annie Grace shared a story about a friend who was taking archery lessons. And I actually have a friend right now who's doing archery. And, we think about archery as, we have the target out in front of us, and we take, so much distance away, and then we shoot the arrow and we try to hit that target. Or in my case, it might be darts. My husband and I sometimes play darts, and you're standing far away and you're trying to hit this tiny target. And you often are missing wildly in the beginning. But in Annie Grace's story, she shared that this person had a unique approach, because what they actually did was they walked until they were only like 5 feet away from the target. And then it was very easy to shoot the bow and arrow and make the target, hit the target, get a bullseye. And then after they got confident of getting the bullseye, they took a step back and they did the same process again. And then they were further back again and further back again. And so I think that's a great example of lowering the bar. I'll give you a personal example. For many years, wanted to have a gratitude practice. And I remember hearing early on, many years ago, maybe 20 years ago, that Oprah Winfrey had this lovely ritual of where she had a gratitude practice. And it involved this beautiful journal, and she would sit down at the end of each day, and she would write in her, what I imagined was beautiful handwriting, all of the glorious things that had happened. And so for years, I imagined that that's what I needed to do. And because I felt like it was a really heavy lift, I didn't have a beautiful journal. I wasn't very engaged at nighttime. My energy is typically in the morning hours. And so there was this perceived barrier between me and being able to be like Oprah Winfrey and have this perfect gratitude practice. And so one day I decided to just throw that idea out and to lower the bar and to start with a simple dollar store journal, notebook, and then to do it in the morning, to do my gratitudes in the morning. And instead of 20 gratitudes or journaling for 20 minutes, I simply started with 5 things. I was going to list 5 bullet points of something I was grateful for from the day before. And when I did that, I started my gratitude practice, and I'm going on 8 years now, and I do it every day. And sometimes I do a little bit more, but mostly I do it in the morning, 5 things. And by lowering the bar, it allowed me to get started and allowed me to build and to build on that success. And rather than beating myself up and continuing to have this negative voice in my head about you'll never be able to have a gratitude practice or you're not doing it right, I simply allowed myself to say, what is the lowest common denominator? Where could I start and build from there? And so I want to invite you today to consider, where are you perhaps holding yourself back because you've set the bar really high? And is setting the bar high serving you? Sometimes it can be good. And perhaps I'll do a Tea with Teri that talks about raising the stakes. But I also think that we miss the opportunity to start and to say, yes, I'm doing it. because we're waiting for it to be perfect, or we're waiting for it to be this really large leap. And so I want to invite you to lower the bar and just get started on the thing you've been wanting to do and do it today. All right, well, that's Tea for Teri this week. I'll see you next time.